Affiliate Marketing Intensive Kickstarter module number 3. Excellent. Okay, so let's get rocking and rolling, team, because we have a lot to cover in this session. Okay, so let's just quickly recap where we are. Okay, so in the WTF system, so in the work time freedom system, we have 6 key components. Okay, 6 key components. Component number 1 is the sector. Okay, and we've covered this in the first section, uh, technically the first module, where this is essentially how we choose our niche and our sector, our industry. Okay, and people ask me all the time, hey Tiz, what is the best niche, what is the best sector to get involved in? And again, I covered this in great detail in module number 1. It really depends on your personality, what you're good at, what you're looking to get out of it. So there's 4 key elements that go into determining the best, the ideal sector for you. We then moved on to why, which stands for the U. Okay, and this stands for you in 2 separate aspects. The first aspect is the external you. So how do you brand yourself? How do you position yourself in the marketplace? And the second aspect, which is the internal one, is you, as in from a mindset perspective. What is your entrepreneurial mindset? Okay, there is a reason for why 99% of the world population are not entrepreneurs. Okay, because it takes a very special mindset. And also there is a reason for why out of that 1% of the population who are entrepreneurs, only a very small fraction succeed. Okay, it's those who recognize the importance of the mindset, and just like you here watching this, those who take those extra steps, they invest in themselves, they take the time and the effort to learn the entrepreneurial mindset. Okay, um, just a very quick story I'd like to share here with you. When I first went to college, I studied business and administration, and so we were taught things like, and maybe you can relate to these things like accounting and finance and economics and mathematics and statistics and law and so on and so forth. And so I understood that obviously those were all technical things that kind of you needed to have a job, right? Not necessarily to run a business, right? But to have a job. And then at some point I saw people, especially colleges in the US, they were teaching entrepreneurship. And I thought, that can't be right. Like how I was thinking, well, entrepreneurship, no, it's just that, some people have this just natural genius and talent, and that's how they become entrepreneurs, right? It's like, for me, entrepreneurship at the time was like being an artist, right? You're either creative and talented or you're not. It's not something that you can learn. And actually, over time, as I started in my own entrepreneurial journey, I realized that actually that was incorrect. Okay. In fact, entrepreneurship is, you know, uh, something that can be taught. Okay. There's techniques, there's strategies, there's mindset to starting a business, in the same way that, baking a cake requires having certain ingredients and following certain steps. So, um, that's importance of a mindset and taking the steps to kind of educate yourself, just like you watching this. And then this is the third element we're going to sorry, to be moving on today, and it is sourcing. Okay, sourcing. So today we're going to be talking about in great detail on how to source high converting products. Okay, as obviously you know by now, the Affiliate Marketing Intensive Kickstarter is an affiliate marketing program. Okay, so one of the most important components of this program is indeed going to be sourcing high converting, good quality products to promote as affiliates. Okay, and then in the following modules, we'll be moving on to technology. Now, this is super, super important. Okay, it's something that scares a lot of people, and it's totally understandable. Okay, there's a lot of technology on the internet, obviously, and the technology is becoming more and more powerful, yet also more and more pervasive. Okay, there's technology everywhere, right? And we now are seeing the advent of artificial intelligence as well. Intelligence. So technology is something that can be mastered, and the good news is that it can be mastered fairly easily. Okay, it's true that there's more and more technology online these days, but it's also true that it's become increasingly easy to use. Okay, things that back in the days, even just 3-4 years ago, required a lot of coding and technical expertise. Nowadays, you can literally just do with the point of a mouse, just pointing a mouse and clicking without any technical knowledge. So we'll be talking about that in module number 4. Okay, so if kind of you're feeling overwhelmed and you're wondering, hey, technology is not something that I'm good at or I master well, rest assured that in this module, not only I'll show you how to master technology uh, without being a technical person, but also how to automate your business, how to leverage technology so that your business runs without you, so that effectively you can make more and work less. And then in the 5th module, we're going to be talking about engagement. Okay, so this is how do we build that relationship of know, like, and trust, okay, KLT, with our audience, okay, so that then when we promote products, then they're willing, more than willing, and actually, looking forward to buying from our recommendations. And as they buy from our recommendations, obviously that's going to turn into sales and money. And the last module here is going to be the economic model of the business. Okay, just like any other business, there is money coming in, that's typically sales, and there is money going out, typically costs, right? So what a lot of people oversee here is that, and I have to say that a lot of the gurus out there, they misrepresent this, and it gets so many people in trouble, and it gets so many people frustrated. And maybe you can relate to this, right? You go on social media, or any of these videos, or sales letters and marketing material, and you see all these screenshots of, like, oh, I made like $55,000 overnight, or I made just so one today, I made $230,000 in 5 days, or here's me making $5 million in a year, or whatever, right? And a lot of these numbers, and this is where I got a lot of people kind of they're misled, is that a lot of these numbers are like sales, or like growth numbers. It doesn't it doesn't look at the economic model behind it. Okay, what matters is not how much you're selling, it's how much money you keep, right? It's not how much money you make that matters, right? It's how much you keep, it's your profit. Okay, so this is what we're going to be looking at in the last module. So today we're obviously going to be talking about sourcing high converting products. Okay, and first of all, I'd like to debunk a myth. Okay, so what's a high converting product? Okay, well, as the name implies, is a product that converts a lot, right? That sells a lot. So here's the thing. Okay, so first of all, whenever I refer here to products, it's products or services, right? The majority of my students, and you'll chances are you'll end up selling products, right? Because they're easier to sell as an affiliate. But some of you I know, and I've done this in the past, you may be selling services as an affiliate, right? Which is kind of more of a middleman or broker type arrangement. But I'm going to be talking about products. Whatever applies to products applies to services. Okay, so what's something that converts highly? Well, conversion rate, right, is a ratio, right? It's a ratio between how many people saw that particular offer, right, that marketing piece, and how many bought, right? So that's the conversion rate. So for example, if someone uh, if we have a particular sales page, right, and 100 people go and view that sales page, and 10 people buy, right? 10 people buy, 100 people view, that's 10 divided by 100, and so that's a 10% conversion rate. Okay, um, so you may find online this kind of myth about high converting products. Okay, well, that is inaccurate. That's actually bullshit, and I'll clarify this. Okay, um, and I'll clarify this with an example. Okay, so let's say we've got 100 people going to a sales page. Okay, and 10 people are buying a product at $10. Okay, so each product is worth $10. Okay, so 10 people buy 10 units at $10 each, right? So that's 10 by 10, 100, right? So you've had 100 people go there, 10 people bought, each one, they bought one unit at $10. So you've had 100 people there, and um, you've had $100 in sales, right? You've sold 10 units at $10 each, right? Now, here's the thing, right? Let's consider a second scenario, okay, whereby we have same 100 people going to a web page, but now the product doesn't cost $10, but instead it's costing $1,000, right? So the product is costing $1,000, not $10. And out of the 100 people who go to that web page, we only have one person buy. Okay, so in scenario number one, you've got 10 people buying a product at $10, so that's $100 in sales. Scenario number two, we've got one person buying a product at $1,000. Okay, so in the first case, what's the conversion rate? Well, it's 10 divided by 100, right? And that's 10%. In the second case, we've got one purchase, one sale out of 100 people. So that's 1 divided by 100, so that's 1%, right? So which one out of the two is the highest converting product? Well, 10% is greater than 1%, so the $10 product is highest converting. However, in the first case, you made $100 in sales. In the second case, you made $1,000 in sales, right? So even though the more expensive product converted less, you made 10 times more money. Now, this is key, right? Do you, when promoting products, do you want to be looking at how many sales you're making, as in what is the percentage conversion rate, whether it's high converting or not, or do you want to be looking at sales, as in how much you're making? Obviously, the second one, right? We care, right? And you care about how many, about the dollar amount of sales that you're making, not the number of sales, right? So it's not about high conversion rates, but it's about how much dollar sales are you making, okay? Which is why, when people talk about high converting products, I know right away that they don't know what they're talking about because it's the wrong metric altogether, okay? And I hope this makes sense by now. So that's why the much more important metric to look at is something called EPC. EPC stands for earnings per click, okay? So here's the deal. In the first case, we send 100 people to that website, right? So that's 100 visitors, and we made $100 in sales. So the EPC, which stands for earnings per click, is calculated as the earnings divided by the number of clicks. So in this case, in the first scenario, we earned $100. We had 100 visitors to the website. So that's an EPC of 100 divided by 100, 1. In the second case, we made $1,000 in sales. If you remember, we sold one unit at $1,000, right? And we also had 100 visitors to the website. So 1,000 divided by 100 is 10. So in the first case, the EPC is $1. In the second case, the EPC is $10, right? So that is a much more representative, much better metric, okay, for when you're looking for high converting products. You're really not looking for high converting products. You're looking for products with high EPCs, okay? So that's why, in affiliate forums and communities, and even throughout this program, you will hear me, or if you attend any of my workshops and masterminds, you will hear me talking about EPCs more than high converting products, okay? High converting products is how, a lot of people, the beginners, right, who are not aware of this yet, refer to them. But really, you'll hear me talking about a lot about EPCs. That's what matters, okay? Okay, so we then have different revenue models, okay? So as affiliates, we can promote products and we get paid in a number of ways. So, practically speaking, how do you get paid? Well, it kind of depends, where you're based in the world. If you're based in any of the Western economies, then like most people in this program are, you would either get paid by a direct bank transfer to your bank account, or by PayPal, or by Skrill, or NetTeller, or sometimes even in Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. Okay, so who pays you and how often? Okay, so um, will come to, actually, we may as well talk about it now. Okay, so how often do you get paid? Well, that is really depending on whether you're using a network or not, and it depends on whatever the contractual agreement is. So what does that mean? All right, so um, you can, as an affiliate, you're obviously promoting other people's products and services. And the key question is, whether you are promoting someone else's products directly. So me, Tiz, I go to Mary. Mary has a fantastic product teaching people how to sing. Okay, and I go, hey Mary, I absolutely love your product. Can I promote your product? And for every sale that I make, then you'll pay me 50%. Okay, and then Mary said, yeah, great. And I'll will every month, at the end of every month, we'll count how many sales you made, Tiz, and I'll send you a check at the end of the month. Great. If Mary says, hey, Tiz, I'm going to pay you twice a month, then I get paid twice a month or every week or whatever, right? Typically, most times, affiliate payments are made once a month, sometimes twice a month, sometimes weekly. It really depends on your volume of sales. Okay, if you're selling big amounts, then you may get paid weekly or every couple of weeks. In most cases, once a month. Okay, so that's one scenario, right? I go to Mary directly and say, hey Mary, I'd like to promote your product. The second scenario is effectively going through a network. So what exactly is a network? It's also called an affiliate network. An affiliate network. And actually, let's clarify this point. Throughout this presentation, I'll be talking about affiliate networks. Okay, there's a bunch of different types of networks out there. So here we're talking specifically about affiliate networks. Okay, so in relation to affiliate networks, here's the thing, right? They are kind of like middlemen. They're like a big marketplace, okay? Where Mary says she has a course teaching people how to sing. She goes and she puts her product on the marketplace, and she says, "Hey, you know, if you want to promote my product, here it is. Go promote it." And you, as an affiliate, you have your account onto the marketplace, and you can go and look for products to promote. So it's like a big marketplace where you say, hey, I'm looking for products to promote in the music niche. So you go in the marketplace, you log in. I'll show you an example later on, actually. And you log in and you look for products in the music space, and you may find Mary's product. And so what's the advantage of using a marketplace is that they make it easy for you to find products. Okay, you don't have to contact all the Marys of this world individually. If you're looking to promote products, you can just have an account with the network, and it's like a big marketplace. You just look for the products that you want to promote, and you promote. It makes it a lot easier for you to find products and also to promote them, because what the network would also do is they would do the tracking for you. Okay, so they would track for you how many clicks you sent, so how many visitors you sent to that offer, and also how many sales you made. Okay, so they make the tracking a lot easier for you. And in some cases, not in all cases, but in some cases, the network will also do the payments. So for example, if you look at one of the larger networks, and certainly one of the more established ones, clickbank.com, I'll kind of do a screen share with you shortly. So if you look at clickbank.com, not only they are a big affiliate marketplace, not only they do the tracking, but also they process the payments. So whenever someone buys a course from Mary, ClickBank actually processes that payment, okay, and then splits it between Mary, the product vendor, okay, the owner of the course, and you, the affiliate, okay, and of course they take their small cut as middlemen, okay. So in that case, the network is paying you, not the vendor directly. So again, same situation here. How often do you get paid? Well, it depends. And how do you get paid? Well, it depends on the network, right? How often they pay their affiliates and how do they pay them? It's typically by PayPal, bank transfer, or sometimes they kind of load funds onto onto a kind of a credit card of yours. So that is that kind of as far as networks are concerned. There is also another thing about networks. Some of them are public, some of them are private. But hold on to that thought for now. We'll come back to it later. Okay. So um, regardless whether you're dealing with a network or the vendor directly, um, there's a number of ways that you can get paid as an affiliate. Okay. One of them is rev share or revenue share. This is kind of the more elementary type of way that you get paid. This is what most affiliates are familiar with. Especially at the beginning. It's also what people refer to the most as getting paid a commission. Okay, so essentially, what's a rev share? It's what we just described. Okay, Mary has a music course. She pays you a 50% commission, which is technically a rev share. And so, if the course say costs $100, then you get paid as an affiliate $50, and Mary gets $50 for having created and delivering the course. Now, a small technicality here: whenever you make a payment online through a credit card, then typically, the credit card company, the bank, will take a small commission for their cut and for providing the service. So typically, it's actually a bit less than 50% on both ends, because there's payment processing fees and kind of other fees by the network and what have you. Okay. Now, the key thing about rev share is that if there is a refund guarantee with that product, and customers end up refunding their purchase, then that will be taken from your commission. So if you make a sale and the customer refunds, then that commission is taken away from you. Okay, or it's not paid to you. So that's crucial. Okay, you're getting a percentage of whatever the customer buys, and if it's a very expensive product, it can be a very nice paycheck because it's a percentage of a big number. But you're exposed to refunds. Then you've got CPA. Okay, CPA is cost per acquisition. Okay, now the name is a bit misleading. Essentially, what it means is that you get paid a fixed amount every time the customer buys, regardless of the amount of his purchase, or regardless out of whether he refunds. So what do I mean? So this is typically for like different types of products. So let me give you an example. Okay, so for example, we're now promoting an affiliate program where the front end cost to the customer is $49. Okay, so for $49, he gets access to a physical book that is sent to him in the mail, plus a number of reports, bonus reports, and a video masterclass delivered through a membership site. Okay, so the cost to the customer is $49. The affiliate program, the company, is paying us $120. So this is important. So I'll repeat this. Okay, the cost to the customer is $49. The cost, the commission that we get from the affiliate program is $120. So now, first of all, you may be thinking, well, hey, Tiz, if the cost of the product is only $49, how on earth can the product vendor pay more than that, right? How on earth can they pay more than double, right? Well, here's why. Because after the customer purchases that $49 product, there are additional products and services that are offered to him after his purchase. They're called upsells or downsells. And so that means that the company knows that on average, right, for every $49 sale, they know that they're going to make a lot more, what is called in the back end, with upsells and downsells over time. So they know that actually that $49 sale is actually worth a lot more to them over time than just the $49 that they pay. And that's why they can pay $120 CPA. Okay, because they know that over time it's worth so much more. Okay, and also, so that's great for you. Why? Because on one hand, right, you can promote relatively inexpensive products, but you're actually getting paid a high CPA, right? So you're promoting inexpensive products and you're getting paid a high CPA, which is fantastic for you. And the second reason for why CPA marketing is a great revenue model is that you're not exposed to refunds. So by that I mean is that you get paid your CPA regardless whether the customer ends up refunding the product. Now, of course, right, the product vendor, they are aware of this. They are aware that in some cases there's no refund policies. In some cases there are. So obviously the numbers work out for them. And the reason in our case that, the customer buys something for 49 bucks and we get paid $120 CPA for every sale that we make is because, they've kind of crunched the numbers and they know that, even if there are any refunds, then, they kind of that number is worked out into the CPA number. So that's a great business model. Now, the key thing about CPA is that a purchase needs to happen. Okay, a purchase needs to happen. Okay, whether it's high or low, whatever, but still a purchase needs to happen. We then now move on to CPL. CPL stands for cost per lead. CPA, some people call it cost per acquisition or cost per action, doesn't really matter. So CPL is very different from CPA. Because in CPA, like we said, a purchase needs to happen before you get paid. In CPL, no purchase needs to happen for you to get paid. You get paid for every qualified lead that you generate. I repeat this because it's important. You get paid for every qualified lead that you generate, regardless whether that lead ends up buying or not. Okay. So, for example, typically you would go into a web page and there's like a form where people can enter their name and email, or sometimes it's their name and email and a phone number, or something else, or their zip code. Okay. Now, for every lead that enters those details in there, you get paid regardless whether they buy. So it's a great business model for you as an affiliate because it's very easy to get people to convert. Okay, because they don't need to pay anything, they don't really need to do anything, they just need to enter their details, and it's typically giving them a free ebook or a free something, a free report or a free assessment or something that they want, right? So they're incentivized to give it because they want to get something for free and you get paid. It's fantastic. Now, I said earlier qualified leads. Now, this is very, very important. Sometimes, there are restrictions and they say, look, you know, we will pay you for every lead, but we need to make sure that the phone number is valid or the email address is valid. Or, for example, we only want leads that, from the United States, right? So that's what makes a qualified lead. So, for example, we buy also a lot of leads on a CPL basis. And actually, I was just reviewing a report before this session, and it was kind of, it actually did show, I wish I had it still open. It did show that a number of leads that were sent to us, the network, the company who's sending us the lead, they checked those email addresses and they realized that they were not valid for a bunch of reasons, and so we're not getting charged for them, right? So that's an example of a CPL from the other perspective, right? You only get paid, and you only pay if you're buying CPL for leads that are valid. Okay, and then we move on to CPC. CPC. So CPC stands for cost per click. Cost per click. Okay, and so as the name suggests, you get paid every time that someone clicks, regardless whether they buy or not, regardless whether they enter their information or not. Okay, you get paid regardless. Okay, you just get paid on a click basis. Okay, um, this is even better, right? Because all you have to do is get people to click. It's fantastic. Okay, now keep in mind that obviously CPA is a bigger commitment for the visitor, for the customer, because they have to buy something, right? CPL it's a lower commitment because they just need to enter their information, and CPC is an even lower commitment because they just have to click. So as a result of that, you can see obviously how as you move from CPC to CPL, you get paid more because there's a bigger commitment, and as you move from CPL to CPA, you also get paid more. Okay, so that's something important to keep in mind. Now, which one is the better one? Well, it really depends. Okay, it really depends. You know, you will find that different offers will come available in different formats. So, for example, some offers you can only promote on a CPA basis. Some offers you can only promote on a CPL or a CPC basis, right? So eventually, what you will notice is that as you start your affiliate marketing business, you'll have a number of offers with different formats, and it kind of all evens out, right? You want to get paid on a cost per click basis, but also you want to get paid on a cost per acquisition basis on a rev share, because you can make some very, very good commissions that way too, right? You know, kind of it's a portfolio of ways that you can generate income within your affiliate business. Okay, it really um, it's kind of like, you know, if you have been trading or investing in the markets, right? It's the same thing that when you have a portfolio of shares, right? You don't want to put all of your money in one single stock, do you? You want to diversify, because if one stock doesn't do well a given month, the other one may, right? And it's the same thing here. Okay. Um, and finally, we have hybrids. Okay, hybrid commission plans are essentially a combination of the above. Okay, so typically what you will find is you may get a CPL CPA hybrid. So essentially, the company will tell you, hey, you know what? I'm going to pay you $5 for every lead that you generate, plus I'm going to pay you 30% of the lifetime revenue of that lead. Okay, so not only you're getting paid upfront for generating that lead, but you also have a percentage of the revenue over the lifetime of the lead. Now, why is this structure great? Well, for two reasons. Number one, you get paid upfront, right? So if you're using paid traffic to generate that lead, right, the fact that you're getting paid upfront, that goes immediately towards contributing to paying back that investment that you made in paid traffic. And the second reason is that as you're getting paid also a revenue share lifetime, then that lead, you know, can end up being worth quite a lot of money, right? And so you can end up making quite a decent chunk of money like that, and that can become, you know, pretty sweet passive income. I remember I generated a number of leads that way, and you know, for years to come. Unfortunately, the company ended up shutting down after 7 or 8 years, and that's one of the problem with some of these plans, and I'll touch on that in a second. But you know, I was for many years I was generating truly passive income because I had generated those leads, I got paid for them, and also because those leads were still active on the platform, they were buying, they were active, and I was getting a very nice you know, monthly income stream just without having to do anything, just out of the results of the leads that I had generated many years ago. Now, yes, I touched on to this point about companies being around, not being around. So, you know, if you're getting paid a revenue share, especially if it's an upfront revenue share, or CPA or CPL or CPC, you're typically getting paid upfront. Okay, so as long as you get paid, you know, within a few weeks, as long as the company is still in business, then you're fine, right? You got your money, and that's the end of it. Now, if you're getting into long-term revenue shares or hybrid plans, then and say that, you know, the lead you know, remains active. Just it really depends, you know, what you're promoting, right? But you know, if it's something that where the lead, you know, buys, and like supplements, for example, right, something that people buy for, you know, months and years on end, then you know, you're kind of relying on the company still being in business, because you know, if the company goes out of business, then you kind of lose that income stream. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. Okay, which is why, again, I'm saying, you know, having a nice portfolio of all these methods, it's a very nice business model, and kind of it gives you a very reliable income, because you're hedged across all the different options. Okay, I hope this makes sense, by the way. Okay, so now we touched on some of these points. So self-serve versus managed affiliate networks. Self-serve versus managed affiliate networks. Okay, so we touched on what affiliate networks are, right? So essentially, they're a middleman. Um, there's two types of affiliate networks: self-serve and managed. So self-served are typically platforms like ClickBank, like JVZoo, where you just go in, you create an account, and then you're kind of on your own, right? You go in there, you browse the marketplace, you choose the products that you want to promote, and you just go and promote. You don't really need to speak to anyone. You don't need to email anyone unless you have a support issue or whatever. You just go, you promote, and you're off. Managed affiliate networks are a different kettle of fish, right? Typically, you have an affiliate manager that's assigned to you. You have someone that you speak to either to get approved, uh, whatever, right? Um, the it's a much more kind of personal and manual process, okay? And if you want to promote certain offers, sometimes you can just log into their platform and promote, but more often than not, with managed affiliate networks, then you need to apply to promote a product, you need to be approved, and then you can promote. Okay, so that's kind of the main difference. Especially as you're getting started in the affiliate marketing space, you will notice that most of the networks you will deal with are of the self-serve type. Okay, so again, they're networks like ClickBank. You just go in, you log in, you promote. Okay, as you kind of become a bigger affiliate, you start turning around bigger numbers, then typically you will start interacting with managed, bigger, kind of more personal affiliate networks. Okay, um, typically there's a number of reasons for that. These typically, they have offers that are not available elsewhere, or there's a kind of it's a different world. But initially, you will start with the self-served networks, and in all fairness, it's also a lot easier. Okay, so where to find these networks? So I'll share my screen with you now. All right, so where to find these networks? So there are two main websites to find networks, two main websites, okay? One of them is odigger.com, odigger.com, okay? Odigger stands for offer digger, but anyway, right? It's kind of a Google for affiliate offers, okay? It's kind of a Google it's a search engine for affiliate offers, right? So for example, let's say I want to say, for example, promote a weight loss. I mean, now this is going to be huge because there's a lot of products in the weight loss space, but it gives you an idea. Okay, so weight loss. Okay, so I've typed weight loss, like any keyword, and you can see here that I have like 561 different offers that I can promote for weight loss. Now there is some advanced filters here, um, and you can search by name, network, description, categories, and also by how you get paid, right? CPA, we can see here, we spoke about that. Cost per sale, it's essentially you get paid a certain amount every time that you make a sale. CPL, we spoke about this. CPC, we spoke about this. CPM, it's a bit more advanced. I'm not going to enter into it now. And finally, rev share, we spoke about it. Okay. So if you're wondering what is the difference between rev share percentage and cost per sale, is that in a cost per sale situation, you get paid a fixed amount and you are exposed and liable for any refunds. In a rev share situation, you're still liable for any potential refunds, but you get paid a percentage of the whatever the customer buys. So that's that. Let's go back. Okay. All right. So here we have, like we said, 561 results. And so let's say that let's pick something in English. Let's see. Okay, we can look at this one. Okay, so this one was added May the 9th. Okay, added May the 9th, and it's a CPA structure by the looks of it. It pays $53, and the name of the product is Rapid Diet for So Clean. for calling. Okay. All right. So let's open this. All right. So here's the name of the offer. It's cost per sale. Okay. And US/CA here in this case represents that they are only accepting traffic and customers from the US and Canada. Okay. Um, Now, if you're building an email list, as you should, right, you will kind of have a very rough idea very quickly where most of your subscribers are coming from, right? And chances are is that, you know, especially as you're getting started, most of my students, well, chances are that you will, and certainly most of my students end up getting started in some of the English-speaking markets, in some of kind of the English-speaking countries as well, simply because it's a lot easier to find products, to find traffic, to, in many respects, it's a lot easier, okay? But, you know, that being said, you know, there's a lot of money to be made in the non-English-speaking markets, okay? It's just kind of a bit more advanced. So, the offer name is this. I don't know if it will allow us preview the landing page because I'm based in the UK, and it doesn't indeed. Okay, it doesn't matter, right? There's ways of getting around this even if you're not based in the UK. Anyway, sorry, even if you're not based in the US. Okay, so the network here is Biz Profits. The network platform has offers. This is just whatever technology they're using. Doesn't matter. It's an active. It was last updated on May the 13th. And it was last added on May the 9th. And it pays out a payout of $53 CPA. Okay. Now there's kind of a bit of uh, description here. It's a weight loss offer targeting United States, Australia, Canada, Ireland, and New Zealand. Okay, so here this is kind of, I would ask, if I decide to promote this offer, for example, I would ask, hold on, like, is this US and Canada only, or is this US, Canada plus these other countries? I'll clarify. So flow means CC submit, converts and complete in transaction. You don't really need to know this. Essentially, what this means is that you get paid $53 when someone submits their credit card. Okay, when someone that's when your payout triggers. Okay, these are some restrictions on the type of traffic that you can run. Finally, in terms of the network, this is being run through Biz Profits. So if you click here, it will open a new window that allows you to join Biz Profits. Okay, so here, this is where you can go and create an account. In this case, okay, you would sign up as a partner. Okay, as a partner. Okay, now this terminology can be confusing. I get it. I don't know why they're still using this terminology, but it is what it is. So the advertiser is the person that wants to advertise their offer. The advertiser is the guy owning the offer. Okay, the partner or the publisher, or the affiliate is you, right? The person with the traffic. Okay, so you want to sign up as a partner. Okay, and then if you click here, it will kind of take you to a form where you can complete your details, or so it should. Oh wait, I think I may have to accept this partner, and here you sign up. Okay, now you enter your details. Typically, what happens is that once you've completed the details, it will go to a page that says, "Hey, congrats, we're now reviewing your application," and then you hear back from them. Okay. Now, a common kind of issue that some people have with some of these networks, not always, but it happens sometimes, is where you apply and then you don't hear for a long time. You don't hear anything back. Okay. So in that respect, a couple of things. So number one, especially with a lot of these kind of private networks, you just apply for more than one. Okay, it's a numbers game. The more networks you apply for, kind of the faster you'll be able to get started with them. Okay, and number one, and number two is if there is an offer that you really want, that you really like and you think it's going to do very well, then just chase them, right? And say, hey, just email them, chase them, go on their website, go on live chat if they have on live chat, go on Facebook. Sometimes I've even called them and say, hey, I want to join. What do I need to do? Did you get my application? When can I hear back, etc., etc. Because the reality is that they get a lot of applications from affiliates, and it's kind of very difficult to tell. You know, it's the typical 80-20 rule, right? So, you know, 20% of the affiliates will make 80% of the revenue, and that means that 80% of the affiliates will kind of only make 20% of the revenue, which is a bit of a waste of time for them. So, you know, they just don't know how to filter out the serious from the non-serious affiliates. So, if you show that you're keen, you email them. You know, you show that, you know, you're on the ball. Then, you know, they may fast track your affiliate application. Okay. Okay, so that's one way of finding affiliate networks, and the other one is very similar. It's a platform called offervault.com. Offervault.com. Okay, it's a very similar approach to Odigger. Okay, so here if I go weight loss again, okay, here we have, in this case, 549 results for weight loss. Similar story. Okay, here at the top we have a bunch of offers. These are all sponsored, so it looks like they paid for their offer to be here at the top. And then let's see. Let's see. So, for example, Absolute Keto Diet CPA Desktop and Mobile US pays you $100. Now, these kind of, the way that they describe this is very confusing, right? They call this a lead, but we'll check in a second. I don't think this pays on a lead. I think this pays on a sale. Let's take a look. Absolute Keto Diet, CPA, desktop and mobile. So this means that you can drive both desktop and mobile traffic. It pays $100. Let's see if we can read more. Conversion process sales. Okay, CPA pixel fires on a valid purchase, right? So you get paid when someone buys. Okay, not when a lead is submitted. So it's $100, right? Pretty sweet. And if you want to join the network, then you click here on join network. Okay. So this is kind of where you go about how you go about finding affiliate offers. The reality is that there's like hundreds of affiliate offers out there. Okay, and sorry, hundreds of affiliate networks out there, thousands and thousands of affiliate offers out there. Okay, so there's no, once you know how to look for them, right? There's no shortage on which ones to use, which ones. Sorry, there's no shortage on networks or offers. Okay, now same thing here. Let me just quickly go back to the PowerPoint. Yeah, uh, same thing here. Which ones to use? Well, here's the thing, right? You will test a bunch of offers, and you will test a bunch of networks, and you will find that, you know, 20% of the offers and 20% of the networks will be responsible for 80% of your revenue and results and profits. Okay, so over time, as you become more established, you will see that you will only work typically with a handful of networks and a handful of offers. But, you know, it takes a certain amount of testing, figure out what that kind of golden 20% is. Okay. Another kind of couple of warnings is some of these networks, especially the managed affiliate networks, you know, some of them are big and very well established. Some of them are kind of, you know, mom and pop shops. Okay, so what I would recommend is kind of get a few payments coming out. Okay, get a few. Essentially make sure that you get paid. Okay, so you know, at the beginning, start small, send them a bit of traffic, make a few sales, make sure that you get paid, and then over time you kind of, you know, you start sending them more and more business. And also a second thing is you have to be aware of this, and this is kind of a bit the dark side of the industry, is that there is this concept of like scrubbing and scraping, which is in some cases, especially for CPL and CPC, but it can also be for CPA. You know, for whatever reason, technical or otherwise, the pixel may not fire. Okay, so that means that, you know, you may have made 100 sales or 100 conversions, but the system only tells you that you've got 95. Okay, for whatever reason. Okay, and some of these are technical, genuine technical reasons, some of these are not really. Okay, so you have to be careful with that. Unfortunately, honestly, this is the dark side of the industry when you're dealing with CPA, CPL, CPC. There's not much else that we can do about that. The way I look about it at it is it's the industry. Nothing we can do about it. Um, I kind of learned to accept it. Okay, um, the way I look at it is, as long as the numbers back out, I'm happy. Okay, and I know that I may be losing on a few sales for whatever reason. But if the numbers back out, they back out. I'm happy. Um, one one instance where this typically doesn't happen is when you have networks like ClickBank or networks that are third party processing the payment. Okay, so in this case, because ClickBank or whoever, right, or JVZoo is a third party network and they are kind of either by themselves or with their partners, all third-party partners, processing the payment, right? Then you can be pretty much guaranteed that they track every single sale, okay? Because they stand in the middle, okay? Um, so we covered, the first two, where to find them and how to choose them. So in terms of how to choose them, for the CPL, CPA, CPL networks that we saw out there on Odigger and Offerbolt, really, you just have to test. Okay, um, over time, as you kind of you get on Google, search around, you may find people talking about affiliate offers and say, hey, this is converting really well, or this one isn't, or you may find an offer that's advertised, pretty much everywhere on the internet. In which case, you know that okay, you're onto something. Okay, that may be a um, very highly profitable offer. Okay, but that's kind of more anecdotal evidence. Okay, now for ClickBank, and I'll be very quick on this because I've covered in this in a previous module. Okay, let me just quickly go here. So if you go to clickbank.com, clickbank.com, you don't even need to have an account. Now, I recommend you have an account. You can create one. It's free. You can go on the affiliate marketplace, and let's say we choose uh, cooking, food, and wine. And here I can sort the result by gravity. Okay, so essentially, uh, gravity is it's like it's an indicator that ClickBank use. It's kind of it's a number that ClickBank give to every offer on ClickBank, and it represents how well that offer is um, converting. Okay, there's a few things that go into the calculation of that number. You don't really need to know them now, but just bear in mind that the higher the gravity of an offer, the kind of more profitable it is, the highest it converts. Again, remember, it's not about conversions that we really care. It's more about EPC. Okay, so in this case, you can see that this offer, Keto Resources, has a gravity of 183. Okay, so I can tell that this, if I was in that space, I can tell that this could be a pretty good offer to test and promote. Then we've got this other one, Fat Burning Kitchen, and a few more, has a gravity of 97. So also, it looks like it's doing well. So this is kind of a way that you can get an idea for how well a given offer is performing. Now, again, this is not all networks have this, especially the managed networks don't. And even some of the self-serve networks like ClickBetter or JVZoo or some of the other ones, they have a number like this, they have an indicator like this, but to be honest, they're not very reliable. Okay, so the ClickBank gravity number is by far and large the most reliable one. The one on JVZoo is okay. Everything else, even though they have a number, I haven't found it very accurate. Okay, so that's kind of Offervault, Odigger, and how to choose the best offers. Um, competitive intelligence, it's another way of doing this. Okay, you can go to similarweb.com, for example, similarweb.com. You can create an account. Okay, and let's say that I want to go and say, wait, we had an offer here. Let's see if it's going to work. KetoResource.com. Okay, now this is kind of the KetoResource.com. This is kind of a bit more advanced, and we're kind of we're covering a lot in this module. So I'll be concise on this one. I'll just give you a very quick overview. Okay, so this website, which is actually the one of the top products that was performing on ClickBank and advertised on ClickBank. Okay, um, so ketoresource.com, we can see here uh, that the majority of the traffic is direct, but actually they don't have enough data. Nah. Okay. Let's see. Again, in the interest of time, I'll be quick here. I'll see if I can find another one. Let's see. Paleohacks.com or truthaboutapps. Okay. So let's say truthaboutapps.com. Okay, truthaboutapps.com. So it's telling us that they're getting about 881,000 visits a month, with an average visit duration of 1 minute 25 seconds, average pages per visit 1.6. The 62% of their traffic is from the US, 7% from Australia, Canada, UK, and so on and so forth. Now, traffic sources, now this is telling us that 93% of their traffic is direct. So essentially, that means that the vast majority of their traffic is from banner advertising or affiliates driving traffic to them. Okay, so let's take a look here. Displays very little. Competitors. Okay, so so now how is this important? Okay, the fact that um, so first of all, even though we're doing affiliate marketing here, you may be able to, well, you can see 1.04% is referrals. Now, the way that referrals is defined here has nothing to do with affiliate marketing, affiliate referrals. Okay, so the key takeaway from this graph here is that 93%, so the vast majority of their traffic is coming from direct. So that means affiliates sending them traffic. They're telling us here that they don't have a big search engine, search presence. That means that they're not very big on Google, on an SEO. They're not big on social media. They're not big on email and banners. It means that most people, the way that this website is making money is through driving traffic, paid traffic, whether it's their own traffic or affiliates. And because we saw that they were ranking high on ClickBank, it means that it's affiliates. Well, affiliates are certainly doing very well with that product, okay, promoting it. So is this good news? Yes, absolutely, okay, because now I know that they are, that affiliate marketing is core to their business, if not the biggest part of it, which means that they must be doing very well to obviously be in that such a high position on ClickBank in that very highly competitive category. Okay, so this is kind of a bit of a more indirect way of telling whether this is kind of an offer we want to promote, whether the offer is converting well. It's kind of, we're kind of confirming, corroborating ClickBank data here with independent data. So this is, if I was in this niche, I would feel very comfortable promoting this offer because a lot of kind of indicators tell me that it's doing well, okay, that it's converting well. Okay, another question that people ask me all the time is, hey Tiz, when I've been promoting a product, but I haven't got many conversions or I haven't got many sales or any sales at all, when should I stop promoting? And that's a fair question, right? There's no hard and fast rule here. Um, it really depends, okay? So if you are driving paid traffic, you have to be a bit harsher, okay? If you're driving your own list traffic or organic traffic, that doesn't cost you, or at least doesn't cost you upfront money, then you can be a lot more flexible. So let me explain. So if you're driving paid traffic, my rule of thumb is typically, and again, this is a rule of thumb, there are exceptions, but my rule of thumb is twice the revenue. So for example, if I'm promoting a product and every time that there's a sale, I make $50, okay? If I haven't made a sale, after I've spent $100 on traffic, so twice the $50, then typically I would stop promoting, okay? So to recap, twice the CPA, okay? So I would stop promoting if I spent $100 and I haven't made one sale, which is twice my affiliate commission. If I'm driving free traffic, okay, I would give it at least anything between 500 and 1,000 clicks, okay? If you haven't made, a good number of sales, by the time you send 1,000 clicks, you can confidently kill it, okay? That's kind of my rule of thumb. Another question that I get asked all the time, as well as we go through this module, is, hey Tiz, should I believe in or even test, or should I test the products that I promote? Well, first of all, in some cases you can, in some cases you are using the products you're promoting anyway, which is great. That's the ideal situation. For example, we promote a lot a platform called ClickFunnels. There's going to be a link somewhere around this module. We use it every day, so we promote it. Love the product, great. But in some cases, if you're a man, say, and you're promoting, women's skincare, or a product that just you cannot test, then this is kind of a bit of an ethical consideration. Okay, I think definitely you should be comfortable in promoting the products. Sorry, you should be comfortable in promoting the products that you're promoting. And it kind of, and this is gonna be, it really is an ethical consideration, like, and different people, horses for courses, and for example, some people will take the approach, and I respect it. It's just not my approach. uh some people will say, look, they would say, I'm comfortable be an arms dealer, because it's a business like any other business. And I said, okay, fine. That's so, sometimes, some affiliates, they're promoting products that they're not comfortable with themselves, but it's just looking from a business perspective. I take a more ethical approach, and I say, no, I'm not going to promote products, regardless of how much money they make, if I'm not comfortable with them. I've had the opportunity, and I get offered all the time to promote all sorts of products that would make me a lot of money, very, very easily with very little work, but I choose not to because I'm just not comfortable with the product. Okay, so then obviously the question is, okay, well, how, if I cannot test the product, then how can I tell whether it's a good product or not? And in this day and age, social media has helped a lot in terms of transparency. And typically, if you do a quick Google search and about the product, you will typically get a pretty good idea whether people are liking the product or not. Now, that being said, there's always someone complaining or bad mouthing or venting, or just people who just have nothing, nothing better to do, or just serial complainers online, right? So even for the best products in the world, if you look hard enough, I'm sure you will find someone complaining about them. So don't let that discourage you. Just look at the overall picture, right? If it's a very successful product, and you get a few complaints, then that's a good sign. That's a good product. If you get obviously a lot of people complaining, then you may want to kind of, there's something going on there. And oh yeah, stats and linking and link tracking. Okay, so this is something that we're going to cover in more detail in the technology module. Okay. However, I thought I would mention it now because it's important. Okay, in terms of getting your stats, this is super, super important. If you're using an affiliate network, pretty much all of their platforms will have some type of stats tracking. They will tell you, hey, you've sent this many clicks to this offer, you've made this many sales, your EPC is XYZ. Okay, so they will tell you how many clicks, how many conversions, and what's your EPCs, right? If you remember that all important metric. So that you typically get from the networks, and it's something that you typically want to monitor on a daily basis, at least for the bigger ones. As you grow, as your business expands, you will have so many networks and so many accounts that you will only monitor the key ones. Okay, and also link tracking is very important. Um, you will see that whether you're doing paid or free traffic, you want to track your links, right? Track how many clicks you're sending, or sometimes we'll use link trackers that essentially are a different tool that we use to essentially be able to redirect links. So what do I mean by this? And this is a bit more advanced. So if you feel a bit kind of confused or overwhelmed about this, don't worry. Just absorb as much as you can, okay? But don't worry, it's a bit more advanced. Just take it in as much as you can. So essentially, what you will find, and that's one of the reasons that I always recommend using link tracking. And again, we'll cover all of this in the next module, the technology module. Is that you essentially, let's say you send out an email, you're promoting an offer, and you'd be surprised how often it happens that something goes wrong with that offer. You sent out the email, it's promoting some offer, something goes wrong. So let's say the website goes down. And I know it sounds unlikely, but it happens a lot more often than you would think. So now you're stuck because you've sent out this email, people are clicking, and it goes to a blank page. People get frustrated because you've sent them to a page that doesn't work, and you are also losing money because every click, right, is costing you money because people could have bought the product. So by having a link tracking tool, it allows you to control that traffic at all times. So by using that tool, essentially, it allows you to redirect the traffic. That means that if you send traffic to a given offer and the offer goes down, you can go in the system and say, okay, now I don't want you to redirect this click to that offer anymore because that offer isn't working. I want you to redirect it to that other offer instead. Okay, so you're constantly controlling the traffic. You have control over your traffic. Okay, that's super important. Again, this last slide is a bit more advanced, but I thought I would mention it for the more advanced of you. If you're just getting started and this is completely new to you, no worries at all. Just again, we'll cover it in a much more detail in the next module. Okay, just absorb as much as you can. All right, so this is kind of, I know it was a very heavy module. I know we've covered a lot of things. If you're watching this and you're you're missing some parts, or some parts are not very clear, it's absolutely understandable and normal. The truth is that the first time you're coming across this concept, it can feel overwhelming, and it's a lot of information. So watch this module more than once if needed, until you absorb everything. What you will notice is that over time, the more you watch and rewatch the modules, every time you will absorb different nuances. You will look at things in a different perspective. And even if you're an intermediate to advanced marketer, and you may look at things in a different way, or it will give you it will spark you that idea, or give you that 1%, right? You may already know 99% of it, but it will give you that 1%, right, that you didn't know before, and it can make all the difference in your business. Okay. So I highly recommend that you go through the modules more than once. Okay. Finally, if you found this valuable, if it gave you a more hands-on, practical approach in terms of how to source highly profitable products to promote as an affiliate, and also if you're enjoying the affiliate marketing intensive Kickstarter throughout, right? I know we've already covered a lot of information, and we're only halfway through, right? So if you could please go to Trustpilot. The link is on the screen, or just go to trustpilot.com and search for 80/20 research. Trustpilot.com, search for 80/20 research, and leave a quick review. That would be much appreciated. It helps. It helps with the website do better in the search engine rankings. It helps with the website rank higher, which means that in turn, more people can find out about this great program, and most people can start taking ownership in their life and achieving, not just financial freedom, but also time and location freedom by having an online business. So it helps spread the message. If you found it valuable, please go to trustpilot.com, search for 80/20 research. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. It takes you a minute or so. So this is module number 3. We're going to wrap up the Affiliate Marketing Intensive Kickstarter. In the next module, we're going to be talking all about technology and automation. So essentially, we're going to be starting to take all of these concepts that we've covered in the first half of the program and automating them. And essentially automating them so that you can make more, work less by leveraging technology. Perfect. Thank you, and I'll talk to you in the next photo.